In this video, I'm going to walk you through a real life scenario of a downsizer contribution and what we're going to do with some of the funds left over.
Now, these clients are in the mid-60s and have owned their principal place of residence for 24 years. So they satisfy the main conditions to be eligible for the downsizer contribution of owning their principal place of residence for a consecutive 10-year period and are aged 55 years or older. Now, this is a one-off opportunity for these clients as they do not intend to downsize again in the future. Now, the current value of their principal place of residence is $2.1 million with no debt attached to the property at all. And step one of this strategy will be to utilize the full downsizer contribution cap for both of these members within a 90-day period post settlement of the property into the client's SMSF fund. Now, the SMSF will be retained as part of their retirement strategy as they've got an existing investment property within the SMSF. Now, the second contribution that we're going to use is a non-concessional contribution each of $360,000 using the full bring forward period for the both of them. Now, we're allowed to use both of these contribution strategies, the downsizer plus the non-concessional contribution, as the downsizer contribution does not actually count towards any of these members' other contribution caps. So in effect, we can get in up to $660,000 each into their SMSF structure. Now, the benefit of that is they've got more funds into the superannuation environment before they look to commence an account-based pension or push their SMSF into pension phase, which is essentially in a tax-free environment. Once the funds are in there, the clients have this existing investment property that's worth about $850,000, but they've still got a $270,000 debt on that. And we're just going to completely extinguish this before they lead into retirement. Now, with the residual, we will look to provide them with a bit more liquidity and invest in an investment account in a diversified mix of ETFs, fixed interest and cash, which is just going to be over $1 million, which will provide them that sort of income bucket that they need to fund their lifestyle and retirement. Now, after this step has been implemented, there's still going to be quite a lot of money left over. These clients have an existing investment property at the moment, which they've identified that this will actually be their retirement home, mainly due to the location. However, this property is actually quite outdated and they're going to go through a process of knocking this down and rebuilding this as part of their forever home sort of strategy. Now, they've budgeted for this to be about $500,000 to $600,000 exercise. So we're going to park about $700,000 into a high interest savings account or an at-call cash account that isn't linked to the market or anything like that to provide them with additional liquidity when they're going through the construction process. Now, they need to live somewhere while they're going through this sort of process with the knockdown rebuild, so they're going to rent for the next sort of 12 to 18 months, depending on how long this actually takes. And while they're going through this process, they also want to go on an extended holiday trip, ticking off some of their bigger ticket items and take their kids and grandkids to Disneyland, which is going to be all funded for on their behalf.